Next up is our second team, who has also developed a game to encourage cognitive stimulation in elderly. Let's welcome Socio-Silver. Do give them a few moments as they start the screen sharing. And if the audience has any questions, feel free to post them in the chat throughout the presentation or even during the Q&A session. Don't be shy.
Am I supposed to like share the screen? Because before it was like control the screen?
Yeah.
I thought they were going to give remote control, sorry. Okay. Right, okay.
Okay. Hi, we are Socio-Silver, a participating team for Tech for Good 2021, and we are delighted to be here today to present our prototype to you. Let's start off by introducing ourselves.
I'm Annie.
I am Saisha.
And I am Vera. We are Year 2 students from Raffles Girls School, and this is our mentor Siska, who has guided us throughout our Tech for Good journey. Moving on to our problem statement, which is to create a game to encourage cognitive stimulation in elderly.
We have come up with a digital application called SG Gems. So, what is SG Gems and how is it different from other games? There aren't a lot of apps specifically catered towards our Singaporean audience, much less apps for Singaporean elderly. But our app does. In our app, the elderly can play their favorite classical Singaporean songs on their devices. It also includes multi-sensorial simulations such as sight, sound, and touch, which improves users' cognitive ability while ensuring that the game remains engaging and fun. According to numerous studies, playing and listening to music enhances the elderly's cognitive functions and prevents cognitive decline. Now, we are going to have a short run through of our prototype. When you first open the game, you have to create your own individual user profile that tracks the elderly's progress. This helps the therapist in analyzing the elderly's cognitive condition.
We learned from AWA that the elderly enjoy competitive games such as Wii Sports. Thus, being able to see other user profiles on the same devices may encourage them to bring out their competitive spirit and try to beat the other's progress. Here, the elderly get to choose their preferred language. This determines the language of the text as well as the audio in the game. We'll be expanding it to more local languages later on to be more inclusive to the elderly in Singapore. After that, the elderly get to customize their own profile avatars. They will be able to pick different hairstyles, facial features, and such. We added this feature after learning that clients at AWA Center enjoy having their own characters in games. We'll be making further improvements to better represent the elderly through the appearance of their avatars. After setting up your profile, you'll be brought to the homepage that includes the time and date as well as an image of Singapore's landmarks that will refresh every time you enter the game. This feature was suggested by our AWA partner, as small things like this can help the elderly jog their memory.
After clicking on the OK button, it brings you to the main page. By tapping on the question button on the bottom left, the game will guide you through every step of the game by telling you which button to press. You can click on the question button again to turn off the tutorial and play independently. This makes up for the lack of manpower in the elderly care center and ensures that the elderly can play the game without the help of someone else they're teaching them. Here you can choose the songs that you want to play. There will be a variety of songs for the elderly to pick from so that most of the elderly's tastes can be catered to. We interviewed the elderly from AWA and collected the titles of some of their favorite songs to add into our game. However, the user is only able to play the easier songs, which are slower with less keys to tap on before moving on to the more difficult ones. After you pick a song, the game will give a short preview of the song as well as a short introduction of the song and the artist. We included audio with our text as we found out that many of the elderly have trouble reading. This page also gives a more detailed look into how well you have done in the game previously. The number out of 100 represents the percentage of the song completed. The stars give a more visual representation of your level of performance.
For our current prototype, the user can play the song on the piano by tapping on the correct key when the colored symbol appears. There will also be a metronome playing with the song to help them know when to tap the correct keys at the right time. When you click on the key, it will darken to show that it has been pressed. Once you finish the song, a prompt with pictures related to the song will appear. There will be multiple options for the elderly to choose from. When the sound button is clicked, an audio will read out the answer. After you choose an answer, it will show you whether the answer is correct or not. This feature can help them recall memories from the past. After answering the prompt, the number of stars and experience points earned from the game will appear. The game will explain that the stars are used to unlock new songs of the games, and experience points are used to level up in the game. You can earn experience points every time you play the game. However, the maximum number of stars you can get from each song is 3. The stars and levels can be seen on the top right. After getting enough experience points to level up, they will also receive a gift. This gift provides an incentive for the elderly to keep on playing and earn rewards.
The gift will appear next to the avatar on the main page. When tapped on, the prize will pop out of the box. The possible prizes are traditional accessories, clothing, and pets. We have shown this data to the elderly, and many of them seem to be excited about this feature. There will also be a brief introduction about the reward to help them remember things from the past. The reward can be found in their character's closet, which will appear after tapping the purple shirt button. This concludes our short run-through of the prototype. Now we would like to dedicate a message to our community partner. It has been a pleasure collaborating with AWA. We had many consultations with our community partner, Isabel, an occupational therapist, to discuss our plans for the project. They have been very supportive. Not only have they given us ideas and suggestions, but have also helped us arrange numerous online meetings with the elderly to find out more about our user needs. We are very grateful for this enjoyable journey with AWA.
We hope to be able to continue improving our coding ability to develop our idea and bring it to reality. Thank you for listening. Any questions?
Thank you, Team Socio-Silver. That is an interesting presentation. Perhaps let me ask you, what are some challenges that you have faced in the innovation period, perhaps in the past 3 months or however long that you were in the project?
There were definitely some problems because we really wanted to meet with the elderly every step of the way, but we were only able to manage have some brief online meetings before we started and after we started. We weren't able to have that many and yeah, we weren't able to go there out personally. Yeah, that's one of the challenges.
All right, so it sure seems that the measures that we currently have made it really hard to go down to the healthcare institute to have a look, to have a better picture. Yeah, I have a question here by Tan Hui Ling. Do you have any other plans to further develop your application?
We were hoping to probably add some mini games possibly, because yeah, I feel like maybe not everyone, all the elderly, yeah.
Yeah, so we're just planning to add some mini games, for example, some quizzes or puzzles. But we'll try and make it more unique to Singapore as well at the same time, because there's so many puzzles and quizzes out there which the elderly can play. So we're going to do that. And then, as we mentioned earlier, we're going to try and expand it to more languages.
And it made me think of something. Was to we wanted to add more instruments. We weren't able to showcase this in our presentation, but definitely more traditional instruments related to Singapore. Yeah.
All right, that sure sounds like a good idea. Perhaps could you let me could you help me understand? Is there how do I put it? Are there any grading? If let's say the game is a bit too tough for the elderly, is there a way to make it simpler, or would there be someone to guide them, or how would this work?
Yeah, there are different stages in the game. There's an easier level and there's a harder level. Yeah.
Originally, we also wanted to give them, how to say, a choice. You can tweak it in settings. Maybe the caregivers can help tweak it to make the games a bit slower, so that they'll definitely be able to play the game fully.
All right. I do have a question here by Jacob Ibrahim. He's asking, why do you choose the UK and China flags for the language options? He's then asking, what would you then do for perhaps Malay and Tamil?
Okay, that's actually a good question. We haven't really thought of it. Maybe we wouldn't put a flag, but we'll just put like
Characters.
yeah, the characters of the language, because Chinese is universally represented by like China's flag, because many people in there speak Chinese. And for English, one, in Singapore we use UK English, and the other thing is it's just more of a representation, because people from England are called English people, so it's like yeah.
All right, thank you very much, Team Socio-Silver. For the rest of you who still have questions, you may later head on to Gather Town and continue to ask them the question. All right.